champions.
What a move by Howie Roseman. Whoa, everybody, how you doing, eh? It's time to talk some hockey, eh? King Dingbat here, eh? And that's right, it's time to talk some hockey. I want to give you my prediction for the Flyers versus Pittsburgh Penguins playoff series. Now, I love hockey playoffs. I love it more than almost anything. Okay, NHL playoffs, edge of the seat. It's amazing. There's nothing like it, especially when you have a hot goaltender stealing the series from a team that he has no business beating, okay? There's nothing like it. Now, the Flyers are going to be playing the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, I hate the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're probably my top 3 most hated team, okay? I hate that team. I hate Crosby. I hate Malkin. I hate them all, okay? And I truly wish I talked more hockey on my channel. I haven't had the NHL package in a few years, so it's very hard for me to come on and talk about games I didn't see. But the games are on TV, so we'll be able to watch and talk about it, and I'm excited about that. Now, the Flyers, they got their work cut out for them. They're playing the 2-time champs, right? They've won, I think, two in a row? So they're going to have to play them, and they're a good team. They're a good team. Crosby, Malkin, they've been there. They've done it. You know what I mean? And the Flyers, like I said, they have their hands full. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You can take all that, and you can throw it to the wind, because the Flyers and the Pittsburgh Penguins, they've got their own rivalry. They got their own thing, and I think you can take all the stats. You can take that Pittsburgh beat them 4 times and throw it out the window. This is the Flyers and Penguins, and anything can happen. And I'll tell you the truth. I think if the Flyers don't beat the Penguins in this series, I think the Penguins wind up back in the Stanley Cup Finals. Now, when I think of the Flyers, okay, when I think of the Flyers-Penguins playoff series, there's 2 that I think of. One, the one that was a couple years ago where Drew was just played amazing. It was 2012 fights that had everything. That series was unbelievable. And then the one where the Flyers fall down 0-2, they come back, tie the series up. Keith Primo scores, I think it was a 5 overtime goal or whatever. It was 5 overtimes, ridiculous. And then the Flyers beat the Penguins. I think the Flyers have the Penguins' number in the playoffs. I think they get into their head, okay? So I think this is what's going to happen. If Claude Giroux comes out and he plays good, right? And then you have guys like Voracek and Couturier and Simmons, if they're producing, and then you got the young guys, Nolan Patrick and all those guys, Provolov, Gus Despair, if those guys are all playing well, they got a chance. They got a chance. But here's the key. And the thing that I worry about the most is Brian Elliott. Now, I'm not the biggest Brian Elliott guy. I'm just not. I remember him in St. Louis not playing good in the playoffs. To me, I can't remember when he's been really, really good in the playoffs. I'm not saying he hasn't, but I just can't remember. I think he's lost 7 straight playoff games, maybe 7 straight series. I don't know. But I remember him in St. Louis with high seeds and just not playing to the level he should have. So I worry about him, and I'll be honest, I'm going to have him on a short leash. If he lets up some bad goals early on, that kind of thing, I'll put Mrazek in. I will. I will. I have no problem with that, because I don't trust him. Now, I know the Penguins goaltender, Matt Murray, hasn't been that great down the stretch, but he's won in the playoffs. He's been there. He's done it. And you know what? Elliott's going to have to be better. He's going to have to show up better. And he can. I'm not saying he can't. It's going to be interesting. But I do think the Flyers get in the Penguins' head. And if I have to predict this series, which I will, I'm going to say I think that the Flyers are going to beat Pittsburgh in an upset in 6 games. That's right, 6 games. I know you're going, why, are you crazy? But look, there's just something about the Flyers-Penguins that I just throw everything out the window. These teams are going to go and do battle. The one thing that I also worry about is you can't let Pittsburgh have a ton of power plays. Their power play is lethal. And if the Flyers give them a lot of power plays, if they have a lot of bad penalties, it's going to be trouble for the Flyers. But I'm going to take the Flyers in 6, and this should be very interesting. Like I said, if the Flyers, for some reason, don't win the series, I think Pittsburgh goes back, and they would be my pick to get back to the finals. But it's going to be interesting. Let's see what happens. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.